I would like you to be the first to know I'm having a baby.
You're pregnant?
Not yet, but I'm working on it.
A party for insemination? Only Cassie would do it like this.
The old switcheroo.
I don't know. I had nothing to start out with. Come on.
Is that what they call it in Canada?
The old switcheroo.
Is this one of these Jason Bateman, Jennifer Aniston switch bodies type films?
Ooh. No, in this movie, I heard a lot of people saying, another typical Jennifer Aniston rom-com film. I'm getting tired of these. Don't want to see this shit.
Fucking Jennifer Aniston.
Yeah, and really, I'm tired of Jennifer Aniston because I like Jennifer Aniston, but I'm tired of seeing that bitch whenever I just want to go buy milk at the grocery store. Mm-hmm. How long is she going to be worried about Brad Pitt? God damn.
How long are those goddamn tabloids going to be worried about her? I was like, who gives a shit at this point?
She did have that one good movie where she played a grocer at a grocery store.
And how many years ago was that?
That was a while ago. But that was it. That was like the only good movie.
And that's the thing that fools me because all these movies that she's done can all be the same movie. I mean, they pretty much are the same movie in my head.
Yeah. Well, I think what makes this good is that in the last
Jason Bateman.
What I was about to say, in the last few films, she's been able to kind of come to grips that she is 40 years old now, and this Jason Bateman in this film, he's the one that really makes this movie, man. Mm-hmm. Jason Bateman plays this guy named Wally, and he is so neurotic, man. If he didn't have a quick and witty comeback for everything, you'd want to slap the shit out of him. Mm-hmm. But he just says so many things that are funny that he's endearing.
And the thing is, you're thinking the situation that's happening to him, you're thinking the same thing, and then he just says it out loud for you.
All right,
where your girlfriend would tell you to shut the fuck up, he just says, hey, I don't care.
Well, okay, for example, he's out on a date with a girl. This is a guy, he's a self-saboteur. He's out on a date, hot girl. And they're getting along, and he's like, yeah, we keep this up. We're going to be married. This is going so well. She's like, yeah. Well, I don't think that'd be so bad. We can live together. He's like, yeah, but to support you, I'll have to live out in the rich part of town. And she's like, oh, I'm not that bad. Like, no, at this point, you probably would start to hate me as I get older. And I will start going to clubs and trying to pick up women who are too young for me. And, it's going to leave you at home being some pretty just a disgruntled bitch. And I'll be forced to masturbate because you want to have sex with me. And by the time this chick is drinking, it's like, I'm going home. You just wish somebody was there to say, stop. I know. Stop.
I thought I had the worst date killer lines of all time. I'm always like, so what comics do you like?
So it's with this girl here, and Jennifer Aniston plays a girl named Cassie, you kind of get a hint. Even though he denies it and said they were always friends, you get a hint that they dated before. And if it wasn't for him just being so funny, they would not be friends. But he's trapped in the friend zone. Yeah. And
he's been trapped in a friend zone
for eternity.
13 years.
He's probably got those Krypton rings circling around.
Yeah.
Well, he does. He does.
He's so trapped in the friend zone. Leon, he's going behind your head, that little triangle. Help me. I can really use some pussy right now.
They call him Captain Friend.
Yeah. You got a better chance of money dropping out of the sky than you do of knocking yourself out of the friend zone.
Well, now,
but what? I bet that's right where she wants him, because whenever she wants, she can take a hammer and break the glass and get him out of there.
Well, you really know this movie so well, and
you know women.
You know women. Period. Yeah, we all know what that shit is about. And we just waiting for that day that she's so depressed that we could be like, I'm here for you,
You're
baby.
Waiting in the wings. You'd be 80 years old, still waiting.
Yeah. Of course, you have to get her drunk first.
You need a shoulder to cry on.
Yeah.
The new date that she has is literally a turkey baster. She says, there's very little time for me to have a baby. I don't need a man. I'm going to do artificial insemination.
Oh, I thought she was just making a lot of turkey.
No.
Wow. And so he's like, you mean you prefer that piece of dead plastic to my dick? I'm standing right here.
Yeah. Well, that's what he says.
The thing is that plastic don't talk back.
Well, look, I mean, you have to admit, even if you're her, you're looking at this guy's traits. He's funny. That's it. There's really nothing else. I mean, he's smart, but come on. If you have a choice of what sperm you want a couple of notches up from this guy. So she has this big party that her friend Juliette Lewis throws for in this film, and she's going through with this. Now, he has feelings for her, but he's decided, like, okay, you know what? I blew that. Whatever. I'm going to support her reluctantly. The donor that she has is played by Patrick Wilson. And, Patrick Wilson, he's in this movie, he's smart, charming, good looking.
He's Captain America.
Yeah, pretty much Captain America. Yeah. He, in fact, his sperm is the super soldier serum. He spits out. So he just deals with it. But he doesn't even remember this, and it's never mentioned in the movie from this point on. But he does something that puts him in a really good mood. Not gonna tell you what it is. And when he goes into the bathroom, he accidentally loses the little cup of sperm that Patrick Wilson has donated. You know what he does next. He's in the bathroom, pretty much has the date that night with a magazine in his hand, kind of covers up the evidence and thinks like, I can get away with this. Now,
well, before you go on, that's the one point in the movie that it sort of almost lost me, because I was thinking, how fucked up do you have to be fucking around with somebody else's sperm?
But you forget what happened. Somebody does something to him, and I'm not going to say it because no one really mentions it anymore. He doesn't even remember, but somebody does something.
Oh, that's
to him,
right. Yeah.
And that puts him in like this crazy state of mind where he can't even remember doing this. So 6 years later, she moves. She actually moves out of town after she gets impregnated. And he says, all right, beyond emails, Christmas cards, and an occasional phone call, we're not going to be friends anymore. We're not going to hang out that much. We're not going to keep in touch. But she comes back to the city after getting an offer for a good job, and she brings her son back with her, who's now 6 years old. He starts to notice, like, this kid is me. This kid is 6 years old, is a hypochondriac, and has insomnia. He's like,
this sounds like a Woody Allen movie.
It's not really. No. I mean, let's not get it misunderstood.
It sounds like a Woody Allen plot then.
It's still a very lighthearted romantic comedy. Mm-hmm. This is the Jennifer Aniston that we fell in love with, and I was like, man, I really think that if she just fucking crying about Brad Pitt and quit doing these really lame comedies like The Bounty Hunter, where she feels like she has to force herself into being America's sweetheart. I mean, He's almost like she's trying to outdo Sandra Bullock.
They make her into irrational bitches in almost every movie. She's so thoroughly unlikable in every movie she does like this. And you're like, don't you love her? No.
The thing is, like, I never got into the whole why America loves Jennifer Aniston so much. All I knew is like, okay, I'm already annoyed by the fact that she gets all this attention. And the thing is, I was like, if this woman wants to change anything she's doing right now as far as her career and her personality, she needs to fucking go and fucking redo another Leprechaun movie. Because I don't know if you remember, she was in the first Leprechaun movie. I think that was the only movie I've ever sat through with her in it.
Well, she's on the track that the actresses have to take if they don't want to play moms, which is playing this generic rom-com, America's sweetheart. I mean, every role she's getting, it's the ones that Julia Roberts used to get, is probably passing on. So she's getting first crack at him, or her probably Sandra Bullock gets first crack.
Yeah.
If she passes it, it goes to Jennifer Aniston.
Well, if
she passes it goes to Katherine Heigl. If she passes it, it goes to Jennifer Lopez. That's just the way it works.
And then there's this kid in here. I'm looking up his name, Thomas Robinson, who is almost just like a little Igor. He's like a little Peter Lorre. He's like, oh my God, I think I'm sick again. As a kid was picking on me at school.
Didn't you say she was like almost 40? The kid's probably autistic.
The kid's just mentally ill. He's wearing a helmet. Hey, mommy. Hey, mommy. I take poopy on myself.
No, man.
He's just retarded as well.
How's Sebastian? Where is he?
He's over there. But listen, if he's a little strange, it's just he's having some adjustment issues to the move, so.
I think I have cyclothymia disorder. I looked right at the shark and felt nothing.
Honey, I don't know what that is, but I'm sure you don't have it.
Well, Justin Bateman looks at him and was like, this is a fucking little mini-me, and who wants that? I mean, should I kill him now or what? But the thing is, that kid really does steal out of every scene he's in.
Yeah.
Because he's so neurotic, and he's so playing it like an adult. It's kind of charming in a way.
It is like a little Woody Allen almost.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the thing.
I mean, this kid, I feel bad for him. He's got circles under his eyes where he slept. I'm sure like when Jennifer Aniston's asleep, he's popping over the booze cabinet and pouring himself a drink, sitting up there taking a Valium.
This is a fucking kid
smoking weed.
Why murders he wrote.
Yeah. I was like, the mom needs to be fucking putting him on weed, because I don't know what you do with a kid who loves collecting fucking picture frames. I mean, which is what this kid does.
Yeah, that's his.
He even gets mad when it's like not even the newest picture frame. He's like, what is this? This is not this year's picture frame that I requested.
They have this year's picture frame?
For him,
Fuck this. Take this back.
Picture frames are baseball cards for this kid. Jason Bateman, whenever he's on the screen, man, and whenever he's interacting with anyone, this movie really, really crackles. I mean, this movie also made me realize why I like Jeff Goldblum.
There was
a point
he plays his best friend, right?
Yeah. He plays his boss and best friend. There's a point where I used to hate Jeff Goldblum because yeah, because man, Jeff Goldblum. I used to watch a movie and he wouldn't get his sentence out to the end. He'd be There's just little bits of characterization or plots here that make it just more likable than an average romantic comedy, because there is no character in this movie that is really dislikable. Patrick Wilson, if it had been a romantic comedy of lesser quality, Patrick Wilson would have been the asshole. Sure. But Patrick Wilson is actually somebody you really feel sorry for in the movie.
Can I get you a drink? Yes, you sure can. Thanks, bartender. I'm Wally.
Roland. I'm the donor.
Yeah. Roland the donor. Yeah. I am Wally, the best friend. Cassie's best friend.
Oh. That's okay.
Great.
I feel like the prized hog.
Is that right?
Okay. It's game time. You ready?
Okay.
We got a nice room. Put everything, well, you know.
Duty calls. Good talking to you, Wally.
My flaw with this, because I was really liking this, I was like, man, this is doing everything right. Not doing one single thing that I hate about a romantic comedy. And then you get to the scene where, and Leon, you're gonna know what I'm talking about, where Jason Bateman shows up at Jennifer Aniston's apartment and he's like, I have to talk to you. Oh, no. And you know what happens? They never get to talk. Mm-hmm. It's so easy. If he, for whatever he wanted to say, if he sent her an email, it could all be settled in a matter of minutes, whether it's for better or for worse. But, we got another 40 minutes of movie to go. So that whole, what I'm trying to say to people is that I think one of the things that I hate most about romantic comedies, and a lot of us do, is that if these people simply just said what was happening in whatever the mix-up is, any kind of tension could be avoided. And it's almost, and I wouldn't be so upset about that if it didn't seem forced. I mean, in these kind of movies, these people, through a script, are forced to just forget about common sense and not talk to each other. And it doesn't feel natural for these kind of movies. It feels like this is something that romantic comedies do, so we have to do it here too.
Yeah, and they're almost all guilty of it these days in the sense that it's something that's completely unrealistic, that anyone would go, no, this is stupid, and would just spit it out and get it done one way or the other.
You keep calling this a romantic comedy, and for me, it really didn't feel like that, only because I thought a lot of the attention revolved around that kid, which is the fact that, Jason Bateman's character realizes he is the father, realizes he has so much in common with this kid, but just has no way of really knowing how to tell, his best friend that, look, I fucked up really bad, even though I didn't like how it kind of just wrapped itself up at the end.
Yeah,
it felt like it could have gone another direction where it at least seemed plausible that it could have ended up the nice way that they wrapped it up. But
that's my problem with the movie. That's why I call this a romantic comedy, because it does follow all the beats of a romantic comedy, but it just did it smarter up until a certain point for me, because the movie does. I was thinking the same thing. I was like, wait a minute, what? For as smart as this movie had been, you're going to wrap this movie up with a musical montage? That's it? Serious? Yeah, they really, there's a music montage. And I'm not saying that anybody's singing. It's not a musical.
There's no dancing
No,
yet.
they put on the soundtrack, let it play for about 2 minutes, and everything is wrapped up tight.
Despite, how this plays out, I honestly really enjoyed the hell out of it. I thought a lot of the dialogue was really witty and just really smart and really just punched when it needed to. And I thought that kid was so goddamn charming that every time he was on the screen, he really did hold your interest. And I just love the dynamic of seeing him play off Jason Bateman's character. And Jennifer Aniston, shockingly, this is the first movie I can honestly say I really enjoyed her in, because I thought she meshed well with the entire cast. And Jeff Goldblum, I honestly think, I don't know how many people are actually going to run out and see this type of film this weekend, but if Jeff Goldblum were to ever make a real serious comeback, I would say this movie is that movie that he would do.
I don't think he really went anywhere. I think he was just trying to finish a sentence, and he just completed it.
But you know what? He was fucking hilarious. I mean, he really was. He was great. I will give it. Actually, I'm going to give it a full price. I was really surprised. Yeah.
Yeah. No, this is directed by two guys, Josh Gordon and Will Speck, who directed together also Blades of Glory, which
Oh,
is a really
wow.
goofy film. So
Yeah.
I'm looking at this, I'm like, this is really admirable, the way they handle some of the more serious situations in this film. So these guys can definitely handle drama, and I did. I the parts of the movie that I liked, I loved, and it was just those three things in here that just took away because, again, it's a movie that's doing some really smart things and shouldn't go down that road that an average romantic comedy does. So I'm giving it a very, 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 very high matinee.
When I saw Jennifer Aniston and her on the poster, I really wanted to just scream out,
Boy.
fuck you to this movie, but hey, it fucking shocked me, all right? Sorry.
And
Hey,
Jennifer
I'm
Aniston,
guilty. All right,
you know,
put me on the cross right now, all right?
And Jennifer Aniston, boy, she's still fine, man.
Dude, okay, there was one scene. Did you notice it when she just hanging out giving goo eyes to Jason Bateman, and she's wearing a shirt and her nipples are just fucking poking out? It must have been cold in that room because goddamn.
Yeah, trying to act macho is not going to save you.
Holy,
know.
what?
Yeah,
It's not.
Dead meat.
Oh, it's not. Oh.
Her eyes were looking at Jason Bateman, but her nipples were looking at me. But one thing I want to mention, was that near the end of the movie? Jason Bateman put on a hat.
Yeah.
For a moment, did you not think that was Brad Pitt? Just for a split second.
No.
You are obsessed
No,
with Brad Pitt.
I-
You're talking about Brad Pitt. this
Those
entire
tabloids have you in a
I know.
chokehold right
Brad
now.
Pitt's not nowhere in this movie. And you're seeing him
I'm
everywhere.
telling you, he was there.
No,
Trying
not
to
right
make the
now.
connection.
And the other
All
thing,
white guys with hats look the same.
I have had my bouts with hypochondria,
What's that?
thinking that you have diseases that you don't really have.
Oh my god, I have that.
Congratulations, you're a father.